Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I have a sheath to show you today for this Benchmade Bushcrafter 162. This is a very popular and very competent bushcrafting knife and just a good all-around EDC knife in my opinion. So this one is going to Alex. You guys actually probably saw the sheath in its beginnings when I filmed the video for that chest and back rig. The ultimate, I don't remember what I call it, like the ultimate mounting harness or something like that. Anyway, so Alex's sheath is ready and I wanted to give you guys just a quick showing of it. So he asked for obviously Kryptek Typhon for the entire thing, but I decided to throw in just a little bit of a twist and use the regular Typhon for the main sheath and Typhon Micro for all the attachments. So you can just see that basically the difference is the size of the pattern. It's a little bit bigger, well, it's quite a bit bigger actually on the main sheath than it is on the attachments. And part of the thing with Kydex, sometimes you don't get the busiest part of the pattern on a given cut. So I think it's kind of cool with especially smaller items. You're not going to get as much of the pattern anyway, so now you do get quite a bit of that. So in any event, it all kind of looks like the same thing unless you really look up close, but if you do, kind of gratifying. So we have here a mini Altoids tin on the front and a nice finger push cut in that, so you just push it out a little ways and then you can grab it and slide it out. Just based on what the sheath has on it, this is kind of where it had to go. I think it looks good, but the one thing to watch out for is when you're pushing this out, it does partially collide with the opening of the sheath, just the side of the handle essentially. And so it doesn't just slide right out. You do have to kind of work it out, wiggle it a little bit, but it's not that bad. And you can always push it a little further with that finger push and get it closer to the opening. So there's that. We have an Exotac fire rod on here. If you guys haven't already checked out Exotac, I highly recommend you consider them for your ferro rod or any of your fire starting gear. They make just really high quality stuff. And the rod itself is unscrewable, so you can just buy replacement rods. You don't have to replace the handle too. The back of the handle has a tinder capsule. And this is just one of their many really ingenious systems. So check out Exotac. This is the fire rod, sort of a standard ferro rod with a little bit of extra goodies on it. I've got some shock cord on there to make it a little easier to retain, because eventually you're going to wear that rod down. It's going to be too small for the holder and it would just fall out otherwise. Then the last thing I have for an attachment on here is this Sunto clipper, and this is actually going to be the first of this new generation of Sunto clipper holders that I'm making. So normally what I do is I would mold a little reinforcement plate on the end of a sheath, and then I would do something like use a tongue depressor. Let me show you real quick. I use one of these guys, and I would heat up the top of the or that section of that plate, insert that in there, and then use pressure to create an outdent in the shape of the tip of this tongue depressor. It just so happens that the tongue depressor is exactly the same size as the compass itself. So there's a back piece on this compass that can slide under the plate, which is why I do that little outcrop. And then on the front, there's a little tooth here. Now the sort of evolution of this idea is the original style that I would do was just using the tongue depressor to create the crevice for this back plate, the clipper, to fit into. And then I made one eventually for a guy named Harrison for his Benchmade Saddle Mountain Skinner, and he then sent me a message afterwards saying he modified the holder for this by putting a notch in it so that the tooth on the back of the compass itself would kind of drop into it, so it'd sit just slightly more flat. I thought, hey, that's a great idea, so I started doing something like that with a notch. And then it occurred to me that instead of molding this out, I might try a different idea, see how it works out, and I really like how this came out. All I've done here is taken a flat piece of Kydex, measured it out, put the drill holes in it, and you can actually see that they are separated. The main sheath and that reinforcement plate are being held together by Chicago screws, and I put some spacers in between them. And so it naturally has a little bit of space for that clipper, that back piece to fit into. And then just to help you kind of get it to go onto the plate a little bit easier, you can see you can see just that little bit of contour that I added. I just kind of lifted up the lip just a little bit so that it's easy to get in there. On the face of it, I have a 1/4 inch drill hole there because that is about the width of the tooth, so it kind of falls into place. So putting this guy on is as simple as getting that clipper under the lip there on the front and just kind of guiding the center of the compass toward that hole. And check this out, you'll hear it. Maybe. No, it's not in there yet. There we go. You can hear that little click. So this is actually extremely secure on there. It's so much better than the original design that I had for it. Harrison's contribution kind of led to this whole concept, which just gives you a much more secure mount for the compass, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. Actually, I'll mention this too because I just thought of it. This Altoid tin holder is a one-way draw. So, I mean, with enough force, you could push it out the bottom, but it takes quite a bit, and it would be dragging the whole way, so it's not very comfortable. Definitely better to go out the top. Kind of has, you'll feel it when you insert the tin. It's got sort of a natural stopping point. So, obviously our carry system is a leather dangler, but these drill holes, these first 4 holes, are actually set up to work with a tech lock in a couple of different positions. So if you grab a tech lock for you, you can mount it horizontally, as in the sheath would carry horizontal. You can mount it so the sheath will carry vertical, and then you can also angle it so it would be riding roughly at this angle for a comfortable cross draw. So you'd wear it on your non-dominant side with the handle tilted upward so you can reach across and comfortably draw that. Speaking of the draw, let's check that out real quick. Oops. You can see it's a nice smooth entry and just a little bit of a click. It's not a real big click, but there's really no rattle, no play, and then the draw on it is extremely smooth. This thing came out really nice. I am a little bit jealous. This is actually my knife. He didn't have to send me his knife because I already own one. So I'm a little bit jealous that I have to give up the sheath now, but I think I'll probably be building myself something very similar to this after seeing how it came out, and I just really enjoy this. So, alright guys, I've got a split, but if you like this sheath, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like the channel, I ask you to subscribe, and definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think of Benchmade's fixed blades as opposed to their folders. Obviously they have a ton of really popular folders and a few really popular fixed blades, but let me know what you guys think of their fixed blades. Which one's your favorite, why, and do you prefer their fixed blades or their folders? Definitely want to get some conversations going on that. So, alright guys, comment down below, let me know what you think, and stick around for the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and God bless.